Now, Jeffrey Sonnenfeld from Yale School of Management and CNBC tech correspondent Steve Kovac. It's good to have you both here, Jeff. I think the question of the day is, as a board member, he's one of 12. He is the most vocal. He is the most active on Twitter. What kind of power does he have to make changes to the platform and to the company?
You know, he adds a lot to the party here. Of course, there are three big concerns. The governance one you raised, I think, is the biggest one. But of course, many people inside the company are worried about what the content character is going to be. And of course, there's an upside here on product quality. That first one on governance, this is a spectacular board. It's a board that knows how to work with entrepreneurs. It's a board where, you know, we might have hoped for more reinvention of this company, and he'll bring that. But they've got the financial heavies there. The CEO, I think, is very promising. Parag is pretty new on the job. They've got the best chief financial officer, one of the best in the industry for sure, you know, with Ned Siegel. So I think it's very encouraging. Just a lot of founders don't play nicely with others. Freud said society is changed by its discontents. And this is a guy who's, you know, never happy with the status quo.
Well, and Jack Dorsey has actually just tweeted that he's been trying to get him on the board for a long time. Steve, one thing he brings to the table that none of the other board members do not is 80 million Twitter followers. And he's already out there putting out polls like, should Twitter have an edit button? Is he going to bring the results of the polls to the board meetings? How's this going to work?
Yeah, that's right, Sarah. There's this running joke when you look at Twitter board members that they don't use Twitter. There's, you know, for years, everyone would look up and they'd have like 2 tweets on their profile or something. We know Elon is not like that, so that's for sure. And just, you know, the company is telling me today, Sarah, they're finally talking, by the way, and they're kind of tamping down these expectations that there's going to be like a systemic change within, you know, the free speech principles at Twitter and so on and so forth. They're really downplaying his role, that the board is there for an advisory thing that includes Musk, and that, again, the management under CEO Agrawal are really handling the day-to-day decisions at Twitter. At the same time, they're kind of towing the line here, saying, hey, we still value impartiality. We're still a neutral platform, and we're going to keep up with those principles despite all the criticism to the contrary that they've been getting, Sarah.
Well, that relationship, Jeff, is going to be interesting between CEO and new board member Elon Musk, who has tweeted a meme of the CEO as Stalin before. What do we need to know about Elon Musk, Jeff? What are your thoughts of him as a CEO? I don't think he's been on a lot of boards besides Tesla. I think he's on Endeavor board, right? Hasn't made a lot of noise there. No,
not made a lot of noise there. And he has not served on a lot of boards. Surprisingly, he is not part of the Boring Company. And I guess he would make it a lot less boring were he were on that board. Surprising that but he's so, you know, scattered across so many other interests, he doesn't really have the time. And also, as Steve points out, he spends an awful lot of time tweeting. So he's got 3,000 tweets a year, and his following at 80 million is maybe perhaps half of that of Barack Obama. But he's only got, you know, Taylor Swift and Lady Gaga and a few others ahead of him in one of the top 10 certainly most followed people on Twitter.
Would you want Elon Musk on your board if you were running a company?
If you're an entrepreneur, you would. And that's exactly why he put the founder of Oracle on his own board. They know how to defend creativity. If Parag is not the founder, it's a perhaps more of a mixed blessing. I think I could see why Jack Dorsey would have wanted him. The upside is pretty, I think, encouraging here. The flamboyance that he went through in his tweeting history tapered off a little bit after 2018, after some of the trouble he got into on various fronts. And he's not really been out there when he talks about free speech. He's not a QAnon supporter and things. He got into some controversy over, you know, downplaying the severity of the pandemic. But I think he went mute over that 2 years ago. So I'm actually quite encouraged that he can bring a lot of energy, a lot of creativity. So, yeah, I would welcome him in a guarded way on this board.